want to talk a little bit about bending strings. Quickly, how to bend strings, and then a few common phrases that you can get from your A minor pentatonic position. The how to bend strings is really important because if you're doing it wrong, it's going to feel a lot harder and you might even hurt yourself. So if you watch, when I bend this G string up, and I'm bending up a whole step, which a lot of people have trouble with at first, the motion is coming from here, from my wrist and forearm rotating. This is, if you look up close, it looks like this. It's a little bit of an exaggerated version of what it is, but that's called supination, and that is what we want. So we're going to start a little bit of a diagonal here so that we have room to bring this part of our hand up, and the thumb supports it. It's sort of a counterbalance. You shouldn't be squeezing with the thumb to try and make the bend happen, but having the thumb over the top is going to kind of help support with the leverage that you need. Now that you know how to bend a string, let's practice bending this G string up to the next note in the scale. So we're going to bend up and then play that same note that we're bending up to on the B string. One more time, let's try that a little bit faster. 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and... The next thing I want to do is kind of what we did, but backwards. And this is called a pre-bend. Really important, because a lot of people only know how to bend, but they don't know how to pre-bend. So we're going to bend the string first before we attack it with the right hand. And then allow that string to come back down. Okay, and you can play out of that with any sort of resolution that you want. But the idea is to bend the string first and then play and allow the string tension to come back to normal. And that's a really common phrase right there. Let's try that. 1, 2, 3, 4. Not a pre-bend, a pre-bend. So you can hear the difference. You can do that phrase bending up and back down, but you can also do it from the pre-bend. Okay, other places we can bend from this scale position, a really common one, and one that I think sounds really good, is from the third finger on the B string. Now this isn't in the pentatonic scale, but we're bending up to a note that is in the pentatonic scale. This note is actually from your Mixolydian or Dorian scale. And again, we can allow that string to come back down or not. So this is a similar concept to pre-bending, right? We can cut the string off at its peak rather than starting it at its peak. So these are all techniques you can use to kind of diversify your bending repertoire. Let's try just from here, keeping it simple. We're going to bend up and back down, and then resolve to the note below it in the scale. Good. Now let's try doing that phrase and connecting it with the phrase that we did before. So we're going to do one more way that I see that is really common is to bend up to the root of the scale from the B string. This is a little bit tougher because you can do it with the third finger, but if you want to do it with the pinky, that's going to be your weakest finger. So it's your choice. I would recommend practicing it both ways. If you are going to try to do the fourth finger, it's really important to support with other fingers behind it. This is another thing. You see a lot of people trying to learn how to bend with the pinky, and they don't realize you need to support that finger with other fingers behind it. Even when I'm bending with the third finger, I tend to support lightly by having another finger on the string behind it. But especially if you're bending with the fourth finger. So there you have it, a few phrases and some technical details about how to bend strings. I hope you like that, and subscribe for more tips, tricks, and secrets from Level Up Guitar.